For the ones who came later, Piedad is from Ecuador, from Johannes Kepler School, and she will share a little bit about the school and her work.
Yeah. Thank you also, Jenny, to bring in this harmonizing moment with the song. It really gave me a deep breath to come in to share from a different space. So thank you, and also for all the sharing of your school, and the principles are very, very inspiring. Now I'm going to share is just like a story of how we come to be a regenerative school. Myself, I'm also more from the permaculture and the regenerative design processes. And when I came to this school, I came because they were looking for permaculturists to help them to get the school to be integrated, because they already had a lot of things happening around that they were not integrated. But so now I'm going to share. So that's how it came to be. Education for sustainability in this school. Okay, so yeah, you're looking at the screen?
Yes. Maybe we can just put on full screen. Yeah, now it's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we started with the SDG. This is like a kind of a school that is in the middle of the urban, it's an urban place where 700 families go to this school. The kids go to this school. So we started with how can we relate to sustainability? So they started with the SDG. How can we study or bring them into the curricula with a thematic? But then when they started studying the SDGs, they realized that they were not being they were not implementing them. So we wanted to be coherent. We don't want just to study these SDGs. We want to apply them in the school. So then we moved on to start a regenerative design project and start mitigation of the carbon footprint with solar panels and water harvesting, and starting to create some biofilters and other also projects that the school had that started with recycling and compost and some waste management and saving water and light started. But then they moved on to get nature-based constructions, to use more and more places, outdoor classes to develop the teachings and the learnings. And we also got this nursery and greenhouse classroom that right now we are moving on to make it also a place to study microorganisms and some of the recipes for the gardening and others. So we started more and more to move on with the concrete things as gardening, as the nursery, as having classes outside, and also planting more and more each year, food forests around. Then we ended with 44 outdoor classes, and we started also. So how can we take advantage of this place that we've been creating a connection with nature and creating? How can we develop like this nature-based education? So we look forward we investigated for the pedagogies that are based on nature, like Montessori and Waldorf and Pestalozzi, Reggio Emilia, and we try to incorporate and in all the time, like having these collaborative meetings and trainings with the teachers. And so we got to this forest school model where now classes are more based on simplicity with materials that come from nature. And also we developed this ecologic path, like it's a path that goes all through the school, the farm, the outdoor classes. And here we have like this eucalyptus forest, we call like exotic forest. And we started through the Regenerative project to change the forest into a native forest, and also with the participation of the students, and also to sign to have all these signs, so people can learn about how what are the trees, the names, how are they related to each other, how the forest works. And this also came into the school projects, like the teachers become very creative, so they started a mapping species project, and now we have every year new species to be recovered and to come into the interpretative path. And we also develop a waste management plan that came from starting recycling and separation and classification to then compost all the organic waste, and also from the farm, and also from the coffee shop. And then we moved on into go to minimize all the waste, to reduce, recycle, reuse, recuperate. And this also we shared to the houses when we were at Virtual this last year. And we also have a lot of social impact to recuperate, like public spaces. And then here is how we've been transforming the curriculum. We started, as we introduced the permaculture and the Ecovillage design, we started, this is in Spanish, but I'm trying to translate to everybody. We started to mix, like how are the study areas related to the 4 dimensions of sustainability: ecological, social, cultural, and economic, with the areas of studies. And also, like as you see here, the dragon dreaming project design method, and the principles of the SDG agenda, that they all have this synergy, like with ecological, you have planet and execution; with the social, you have celebrating, and you have culture, with dreaming, and with peace, and you have economy with planification and prosperity. So this is what we are doing now. We are moving along to how to integrate the Ecovillage design curricula to the curriculum that's the one admitted by the government. Yeah, that we realize how many synergies they are, because like this last week I have meetings with all the teachers, so we can find, okay, these themes of sustainability, where do we find in our curricula? And we could find so many synergies that it's going to be easy at the end to integrate the curricula, because all the things that we learn in school can be related to sustainability. If we look them from the nature-based education, we look them from sustainability, we can have the themes, associated to them. So we are always moving with students and teacher trainings and in sustainability, and also supporting a lot of the youth. They love music, and all the cultural dimension has been well developed with music festivals, where we also promote that they express the times we're living about climatic changes and others, and they come along with really interesting and inspiring songs and projects, also fair projects. Here also we decided to do a lot of concrete work through projects, project-based learning. And also we wanted to spread what is happening here. Somehow it's happening naturally, like people in the cities are also looking for solutions. So they, so if you create spaces of collaboration, the solutions come naturally also when they are together. So we created a SDG school network that now has 3,400 schools at Ecuador. And we can share with them all the learnings, and they are open to also integrate as we say, okay, let's everybody plant at least 10 trees, but we are 3,400 schools, so that's a lot. So everything is coming to spread by its own flow, okay? And also we support the youth leaders. We help them to create their student schools council, and now they're coming up with like gardening challenges in social media, or planting trees challenge. They have their own languages, and we support them to move on with them. And then we also saw with the school network and with an enterprise of network that we also articulated, because we are leaders of the SDG 15 in Ecuador in the Global Compact circle. We created this program to reforest in restoration projects, in ecosystemic restoration projects. So we articulate territories, communities, with local governments, with the schools of that place, and with companies that want to support reforestation. And we started this network that is spreading through all Ecuador, with the network to reforest lots of places. We have like this goal to reach 2030 with 500,000 trees planted. But this year, with the articulations of local governments of a lot of places in Ecuador, we reached the goal of 500,000. So we're going to relaunch it again. And this is like what we say, the social forest. Because we see like the social pact. How can we spread what we are learning, what we are harvesting here? And we started articulating and spreading and sharing. And there is where I say that this nature-based education comes along with the human evolution by itself. Like, we just start like having places where we can collaborate, and this intelligence, collective intelligence, brings down the nature-based solutions, and they spread by themselves. So that's what I wanted to share. Now, if you have any questions.
That was so beautiful. Thank you, Piedad. Super inspiring.
Thank you.
Questions? Please put your questions on the chat to make it easier. Beth is asking if you ever presented it in any UN forum. We could invite one of the students.
Yeah, thank you. We're open to share. And the students are the best ones to share. It's their voices to be heard.
Any questions to Piedad?
Yeah, I see. Are you supported by Ecuadorian government? We have created a lot of agreements with local governments and with other like institutions of like environmental ministry institution, and we look forward for the Ministry of Education to look at our sustainable education plan that we are developing now, that we are also harvesting your experiences. We're participating here so we can hear a lot, so we can observe a lot, and we can include in this plan, and then we can present to the ministry.
Maybe we can hear more one or two questions. If you have it, you can just raise your hand and we can hear you directly. We have just a lot of congratulations.
There's a question in the chat that says, are you funded? Like, it's a private school, so it's funded by the parents that are part of the community.
Okay, so we can just send lots of inspirations to Piedad and her team for them to keep working and sharing all of this with us. Thank you. If there are questions, you can just put them on the chat and Piedad will keep an eye on the chat to respond to them.